Today, I'm super excited to share with you guys our top 10 materia in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We can't wait to share these with you because some of them have some very interesting and different uses or combos to hopefully make your playthrough much more enjoyable. Materia is probably one of the more important gear items in your build, and once you find the ones on this list, you're probably going to slot them in as soon as possible. Minor spoiler warning though, we will be showing some powerful materia from the game, so if you don't want to see that and where they come from, this is your heads up. So let's go through all of the ones we've not only been using and finding most useful, but also will help you throughout the game and even hard mode if you venture there. Comment any materia or combos that you've figured out down below, and let's get into it, starting with an awesome new powerful one, the Darkside Materia. This materia gives you a buff that enhances your ability's potency at the cost of consuming a percentage of your health on use. This becomes really amazing at higher levels as the potency increases to 20% at the cost of 5% health. This applies to your weapon abilities, making it great for Cloud as he has a wide range of abilities. The HP loss seems like a big risk reward, but really 5% isn't that hard to deal with, especially with the abundance of cure or regen, and it's absolutely amazing and fun to use. You will unlock this one later on from Chadley's materia development in the Nibble region. And then next up is Item Economizer, and this will be a godsend throughout your first playthrough before you go into hard mode, because it allows you to use items without consuming ATB, meaning you can clutch heal, revive, and more, making items significantly more effective. This effect will reapply after using a certain number of actions that is reduced as you level it up, and you can pair this with the Purple Materia Item Master, which increases the effects of items by up to 50%, making it a very deadly combo during your first playthrough. You can get the Item Economizer again from Chadley's materia development, but this time in the Junon region, and you can get 2 of them, so it's available fairly early. And next up is a really cool one, it's the Synergy Materia, and this has some interesting and powerful effects, allowing an ally to follow up on the leader or playable character's attack action with whatever you link this materia to. This means if you slot this into a party member such as Aerith, she will follow up with a spell that you've linked to it after you use a weapon ability on Cloud or the other party member. The thing is, this cast is completely free, it doesn't cost MP or ATB, meaning it's a pure bonus. It sadly doesn't work with all green materia, but only seems to work with some of the offensive magic spells. But it does work with 2 specific powerful materia, making it kind of insane. You can use this with the Poison and Petrify materia to get a passive free Bio and Quake cast, which will poison and petrify your enemies for free. Or my personal favorite combo is to use it with the Comet materia, so every time you use a weapon ability, Aerith or whoever you use it on will follow up with the Comet spell that rains down fireballs across the battlefield. This is extremely useful because Comet normally costs a lot of mana, and with this, it's free and very consistent. The only downside is that Comet takes a while to cast compared to other spells, but it deals good damage and it's just so fun to constantly have fireballs raining down from the sky. A bonus for this is that Aerith's Arcane Ward will actually double cast the Sync spell as well, making it effectively 2 spells for free if you stand in the ward. You can grab this one for yourself from Chadley's materia development once you reach the Cosmo Canyon region. And next is the Enemy Skill Materia, and this one is a game changer, so do not disregard it in your playthrough. As you complete world intel and scan enemies, new challenges in Chadley's combat simulations will unlock called Biological Intel, and there is about 1 challenge per region that will unlock a new monster move for you to permanently learn when using this materia. The thing is, one of the earlier ones you unlock is called Plasma Discharge, and it's completely nuts. It gives you a buff for pretty much the whole fight, causing an electric AoE burst around you whenever you fill an ATB bar. This means if you start the fight by buffing up, every single ATB you fill afterwards will deal AoE lightning damage around you. With other skills such as haste to fill up your ATB quicker, synergy skills that also fill up your ATB, or abilities like Disorder that refund ATB, you can constantly juggle consuming and refilling your ATB gauge, dealing massive damage over the fight. The bonus of leveling this up is also amazing because it grants a variety of stat boosts, which is perfect for someone like Cloud who's already an all-rounder. This is overall a must-use materia, not just for those stats but also the abilities. We basically never removed this after we got it. Another amazing move that actually comes with this when you first get it is Sonic Boom, that deals a nice bit of wind damage, but it actually buffs you with Bravery and Faith, increasing your offensive stats without consuming MP. Later on you get the Soothing Breeze, which is a single ATB ability cost with no mana requirement, and will do a constant heal for you and your party members. This is just such a good materia all around, you don't want to skip it. You actually get this from the biological intel Know Thine Enemy in the combat simulations with Chadley, and you unlock more moves as you do future biological intel challenges. Next up are some bonus mentions, because these are more passive effects, but this combination of different purple materia will make you extremely powerful. First Strike is great as it lets you start the battle with ATB already filled, meaning you can go straight into doing a buff or straight up attacking. This is just great for farming and overall is nice to have. The Skill Master gives you a sort of ATB refund after using 3 commands at max level, letting you do a 4th one kind of for free, increasing your overall offense. The ATB Assist Materia gives your allies a large ATB increase at max level when repeating a command 2 times. This is great to put on someone like Cloud who can spam moves, as it will fill up your allies' ATB for free, allowing them to do more stuff while Cloud is attacking. And then the stat materias like HP, MP, Strength, Magic, Speed, and more are amazing later on once leveled up. Don't disregard these early on just because they're not maxed out. At higher levels and in the hard mode, these are going to be pretty much must picks. And next is one that you might look at and think isn't that good, but it actually is. It's Provoke. This gives the user a taunt effect automatically, causing enemies to attack them. The thing is that enemy AI does like to focus the player character, but with this one you can force them to target your party member that has it while you dish out the damage. Pairing this with Barrett, who already has good health and defenses and abilities to further increase his tankiness, will have you laughing as you destroy harder enemies with ease. And next is a returning favourite, it's the Elemental Materia. This is amazing because it enhances your weapon attacks with the linked elemental materia, making it great for juicing up your damage to enemies weak to that specific element. For example, if an enemy is weak to fire and you link this with a fire materia, you will deal weakness damage with your attacks, increasing your overall output. Furthermore, as you level it up, it gets more effective from 8 to 15 and then 23% bonus damage. If you do slot it into your armor materia slot though, and link it with an elemental materia, it will grant half, prevent, or absorb that damage, making it completely nullify enemies' magical attacks if you link it to match them. This is a must use for any character you actively control. Just remember to change the linked elemental materia based on what you're fighting. You get one of these from the Gongaga region's Distant Tremor combat simulation, and there's a couple more later in the game too. Of course, it wouldn't be a list of top materia without Magnify. This amazing materia turns any spell, both friendly and offensive, into an AoE. It does have a drawback though, it reduces the potency of the spell by 60%, but as you level it up it improves to 45 and then 25%, making it much better. This has a variety of powerful uses. You can link it to the Cure Materia to do amazing AoE heals, link it to offensive spells like Fire to nuke everything in combat with fire damage, or use it with the Time Materia to give your whole party haste at once, or stop every enemy at once. So get creative with this one because it's always going to be a staple on your characters. You can get one of these when Kate Sith joins your party, as well as the endgame Victim of Circumstances side quest in Cosmo Canyon, and there's a brutal level difficulty combat simulation in the endgame that gives another one. Next is another bonus, because this won't directly impact your player character, but does have massive implications on your AI party. The Auto Unique Ability Materia, Auto Cast Materia, and Auto Weapon Ability Materia are must picks for your party members to actually function on their own. The Auto Unique Ability Materia lets characters use their unique mechanic triangle input moves on their own. The Auto Weapon Ability Materia allows the AI to use weapon abilities assigned to their shortcuts in the combat settings menu on their own, allowing them to effectively have 4 abilities that they can use without you having to manually control them. So, slot this in and assign the abilities you want the AI to use for those characters in the combat settings shortcuts to make your AI way better. The Auto Cast Materia will link to a Magic Materia, allowing characters to use that on their own, such as Cure, meaning that your party members can automatically heal you, or do offensive spells like Fire to deal damage. The Time Materia is great here too, allowing party members to automatically cast haste on you. You can get all of these from Chadley's Materia development in the Grasslands region or the Coral region. Next up is the double elemental materias. That's right, it's 2 magic types in one, giving you more room to add other things into your build. There's a fire and ice materia, a lightning and wind materia, as well as a poison and petrify materia. There's only one of each of these in the game, so they are rare, but they're a massive space saver for your primary spell caster. They give you access to all of the spells for both of the elements on it, so it's a no-brainer. They come from Chadley's Materia development in the Grasslands, Junon, and Cosmo Canyon region. Next up is an oldie but goodie, it's Assess and Steal. These are very important for several reasons. Assess will let you see an enemy's weakness and intel on how to pressure them, which is very important and useful throughout the game. But it also unlocks new combat simulations at Chadley to unlock more materia items and more. Steal is great to pair with this because Assess lets you see the items that you can steal from an enemy, so using them together kinda just works. You get these from shops all around the game for pretty cheap, so you should probably slot them in. Next is some great materia for keeping your ATB economy high and improving your guard. It's the ATB Boost Materia, Precision Defense Focus, and Steadfast Block. The ATB Boost Materia gives you a whole new ability in combat by pressing both the L1 and R1 bumpers down together, and doing so will double however much AP you currently have. It does have a long cooldown, but this becomes better and more reasonable at max levels up to 60 seconds. This is great on all characters, but especially the slower ones to build ATB like Aerith, meaning you only need to build 1 ATB bar, then use the booster move, and now you instantly have 2. It can also be used in clutch moments where you only have half a bar but need to do a spell, and because it doubles the ATB, that will allow you to immediately cast a spell. I use this on Cloud and Aerith, and as long as you actually remember to use it, it's a real game changer. You can get the ATB boost from Chadley's Materia development in the Coral region. Meanwhile, for Steadfast Block, this makes you take less damage while guarding and boosts your ATB, making it great for the AI because they guard automatically quite a lot. And the Precision Defense makes perfect guards much easier, which nullify all the damage you would take. For this reason, harder content becomes much more easy as you get used to doing guards and perfect guards. And now we have a bunch of honorable mentions. Let's round these together because some of them are super strong or just super fun to use. The Spare Change Materia lets you flex on your haters by throwing literal money at them, with the more money you throw, increasing the damage you deal. The Gamblee Materia is very interesting because it lets you cast a random party member's spell at a reduced mana cost, giving you that gacha dopamine without having to swipe. The Time Materia is a no-brainer because haste is so strong, but stop is also really good, and a quick hot tip is that you can use this on staggered enemies to freeze the stagger bar, letting you deal way more damage. The Revive Materia is important because in combat simulations and in hard mode, you can't use items, so you will need to use magic to revive. Reraise is also very good because it automatically revives you after that ally with the buff goes down. It costs a lot of MP, but you can link it to the Magic Efficiency Materia to half the cost at max level. Of course, Cure is great throughout the whole game and hard mode because you can heal up your teammates with a small mana cost. And obviously the Magical Elemental Materia is great depending on if an enemy is weak to them, so you will want to match the enemy's weakness to the materia that you use before you go into battle. Share any materia that you found that you think's really useful down below, and we hope this helped you out, and we have more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming your way soon.